Hey everyone, Blugoblin here for my latest comic book review. I want to thank you all for joining me. Got a lot of stuff to cover here. Batminion's back. Some stuff from Marvel and DC, and we got a couple of indies. Alright, we're going to start off with the Marvel stuff, go through the indies, and end with DC. Let's get the Marvel stack here. We're going to start off with The Amazing Spider-Man number 733. Y'all can call it Amazing Spider-Man number 15 all you want, I don't care. But for me, this is 733. And in here, Mary Jane dons the spider armor, the Iron Spider suit. Look, I know I've been shitting on this title and shitting on it and shitting on it and shitting on it, I know. However, with that being said, this issue wasn't totally bad. I like the fact, it kind of gave me a personal chuckle to see, of all people to come in and save Peter's ass, it's his ex. It's Mary Jane. And MJ shines pretty well in here. Regent, fuck Regent. I gotta agree with what my bro said about Miles Morales. What has gotten into Marvel making Miles Morales the quote-unquote damsel in distress Spider-Man? Just all kinds of goofy shit happens in here, but long story short, the good guys win in the end. However, the cliffhanger just left me scratching my head thinking to myself, okay, where the hell is that coming from? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know where they're going with this, but that cliffhanger, it just felt kind of inconsistent. Somebody's in danger, yet the last time we saw these people... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it because I feel like I have to. Earlier on in the storyline, we saw Aunt May coughing up blood. So the cliffhanger at the end of this issue is her husband, Jay, coughing up blood. I would have thought they would have kept on going with the whole Aunt May struggle. But they're going in the opposite direction. This issue wasn't horrible. I'm just glad they wrapped up this Regent shit for now. I'll be generous and give it a 3. Moving on to Civil War 2 X-Men number 2. Good stuff in here. It's Magneto's team and Storm's team button heads during this whole thing with the rise of the Inhumans. You know, which side are the mutants on? Are you going to help the Inhumans and betray your own people, or are you going to side with mutant kind and hope to save your own species? It's just really, really good writing in here. The tension and the turmoil between mutant kind is really shown very well in here. Especially Kurt, you know, Nightcrawler's argument in this whole ordeal. It's very, very well written, very well done. There's some dissension among the ranks on certain teams in here. Both sides put up a really good argument, and everybody seems to have this wonder, what if Ulysses makes a prediction and he's wrong? Or what if he makes a prediction and it's way, way, way too soon to pass down the judgment? It's just all kinds of questions here that makes you want to keep on reading. It's just really good stuff. Not a bad ending on this particular issue either. It's just really good. And I'll spoil one thing. We get to see Gambit in here, and he's awesome as hell. Good stuff. I'll give it a 3.5. Alright, moving on to Han Solo number 2. Marjorie Liu. Good stuff. Brooks' artwork is really good as well. Han and Chewie are still taking place in this whole Dragon Void race, and that's their cover for, you know, Han's secret mission and everything. And Han's getting into it. He's actually getting into this race. You know, there's nothing on the line. He's not really making any money or profit from this, but it makes him feel alive, you know, being in this race. And Chewie starts to, you know, tell him, say, hey, keep your head in the game. You know what we're really doing here. But by the end, shit hits the fan. Shit hits the fan really hard for Han. And, oh boy, may have to take this mission in a different direction. Solid issue. Really well done. I really like this. I'll even give it a 4. It's good. Oh, this one, I was torn on whether or not I should have made this my pick of the week. I mean, I didn't know what to declare pick of the week, but this, I don't know, this came close. Spidey, number 8. Why did this come close? Thompson and Stockman, they do a good job in here, and Campbell does a good job in here too, but what made this so good is that it felt old school. It felt like Amazing Spider-Man. It felt like it should. It felt like an honest-to-God Spider-Man story. You know, Peter and Gwen are out on a date. They're going to go see Raiders of the Lost Ark. And unfortunately something goes wrong, and you guessed it's old Sparky, Electro. It just felt so classic yet so modern at the same time. It was good. It was so refreshing. The dialogue was great. I loved every bit of this. It was so well done. The artwork, there were some parts in the artwork I could have seen it done a little bit better, but the writing was just phenomenally solid, and I enjoyed every single page. It was so well done. Maybe I'm just a sucker for old school Spider-Man storytelling, but this was a welcome treat. This was so good. I'll give it a 4. Maybe that is my pick of the week. I don't know. Alright, we're going on to Spider-Man 2099, number 12, Peter David and Mr. Slimy. Woo! This is really getting good. This is the next part of the whole Sinister Six storyline. All kinds of crazy shit's going on in here. The Goblin's been unmasked. It's a woman. And, you know, Miguel's trying to take her to safety, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to restore his proper timeline of 2099. Meanwhile, he's getting some backup from his Captain America. But just when Miguel thinks he's home free, shit. Miguel's getting pushed, folks. He's getting pushed, and he's getting pushed, and it's only a matter of time before he fucking blows up. And it's done very well in here. I mean, you can literally see the fucking tension in his face. It's almost like he's gonna turn into the fucking Hulk. He's so pissed off. He's still got all kinds of questions he needs answered, and just more and more and more bullshit's happening to him. He's about to break, y'all. He really is. The cliffhanger, it's not one of Peter David's strongest, but it was still good. But I'm more interested in where Miguel's going. His temper's being tested, folks, and the writing is just really good. This gets an easy 4 as well. Alright, we're going on to the indies. We're going to Black Mass Comics with this. Kim and Kim, number 1. My bro Chris was going to get this for me from Midtown Comics. I may have to take him up on his offer because I'm getting some more and more titles coming in that I'm ordering, and I've got to make some sacrifices, and unfortunately this may have to go. But don't get me wrong, this issue, it was fun, it was cute. I think some of the times the mature language and the cartoony artworks, I can't explain why I feel this way. It just didn't grab me. I'm all for LGBT characters being spotlighted in mainstream comics. I'm all for it. I think it's great. But this particular title, it just didn't grab me. I thought it was good. It was fine. It's a bounty hunter storyline, and that shit's been done to death. But yeah, I saw a lot of cliches that I've seen in other storylines before. But it was cute. I liked the dialogue. I liked the character interaction. I liked the chemistry. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to stick with this. I mean, if y'all loved it, that's great. But I think this is just one and done for me. If Chris, if you're watching, if you still want to send this to me from Midtown, then I'll be happy to take it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not feeling it the way I feel like I should have. This was a good issue, though. Nonetheless, I'll give it a 3. This was also damn close to being Pick of the Week. Consider it. The Lone Ranger Green Hornet, number 1. Oh shit! This was good. This was really good. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Lone Ranger, John Reed, is Britt Reed's great uncle. And now he's in a period where he feels like all the stuff that he did for law and order in the old days, he's starting to feel like he's in 1930s Chicago. Hitler's on the rise. Hitler's on the rise into power. And Lone Ranger, he's thinking to himself, man, all that stuff I did in the name of law and order back in my day, I look at the world now and I'm thinking, what was the point? Yeah, it's just, wow. He's reunited with some artifacts from his past, from his heyday. You get to see Britt Reed in here. We don't see the Green Hornet in here, but we see a lot of respect for the Lone Ranger, respect for who he was, and something has come up to where they feel like he should come out of retirement, dust off the old mask, and come back into town. But he doesn't. You know, he's like, what can I do? I'm an old man. And he's looking to Britt, and he says, Britt, it's time you become the new Lone Ranger. And he's like, I don't want to be the Lone Ranger, because Britt's already got a second job. But solid writing, good artwork. This was fantastic. I definitely recommend you pick this up. This is really good. An easy 4. Alright, moving on to DC, starting off with Aquaman number 2. Dan Abnett, Scott Eaton. This was good. This was the conclusion to this whole story involving Black Manta. Oh man, Manta hits him hard. Manta hits Arthur hard. You know, just when Arthur and Mera are ready to unite Atlantis and the surface dwellers, it's just all kinds of crazy shit happens in here. And Manta's character development, it's a bit cliche, but it's still solid and it's still compelling and it still adds to the storytelling, and it's done very well. Arthur, it's your classic learn from your mistakes morality, and Arthur still finds a way to make that message hit home. It's just good stuff. You know, I'm not going to ruin how. I'll say this: Arthur does defeat Black Manta. Black Manta. Yeah, I know, shocking, right? But I'm not going to ruin how he does it. Pretty damn clever. Good issue. Gets a 4. Alright, moving on to Batman number 2. King and Finch still doing a good job here. We see Solomon Grundy in here, so this cover is legit. Solomon Grundy is in here, and Gotham and Gotham Girl help Batman take him down. It's like, yeah, Gotham and Gotham Girl are superpowered beings, but they're still rookies, and they still need a lot of learning. And, you know, Batman takes him to meet Commissioner Gordon. And Batman's able to pull the Vanishing Act over Gotham and Gotham Girl. They're like, we got heightened senses. How could we not see that? And Gordon's like, relax. It's Batman. But fascinating stuff is going on. There's like a string of suicides happening. And by the end of the issue, we're learning who the mastermind is going to be for the upcoming Monster Men storyline. And all I can say is, it's good to see that old son of a bitch back again. See what they do with him. Good issue. Not bad. Certainly better than the first one was. But I liked it. It gets a 3.5. Let's keep rolling. Batman Beyond number 14. This series is fixing to draw to a close before it gets relaunched with Rebirth. Dan Jurgens, fucking awesome writing. In here, we get to see what's going on with Tim and Matt. Tim, I'll spoil this. Tim takes Matt to the Batcave. And immediately I see a panel where Matt's looking at a Robin costume, and I'm like, really? Are you going to go there? Are you going to go there, DC? I don't think they will. But we also get to see Matt share a memory, And it's a very big one. It's actually the very last time he ever remembered seeing Terry. And speaking of Terry, we're finding out what's going on with him. Because the big shock at the end of the last issue is that Terry McGinnis is in fact the new Rewire, but he's not aware of it. He's somebody's fucking with him right up here, and he believes he's Rewire. He doesn't know he's Terry McGinnis. He doesn't know that he's the rightful Batman Beyond. But we also see who's pulling the strings up here, and ooh, it's getting really interesting. I'm really digging where this is going. I'm loving this. This is good stuff. A solid issue. It gets a 4. Moving on to Green Lanterns number 2. Humphreys and Roca. Ooh, another solid issue. The Red Lanterns are rising. Red Dawn is upon us. And Jessica and Simon, they've got to learn to get their act together. They've got to learn to work together as a unit. And unfortunately, they're learning the hard way that if they don't work together, some shit's gonna happen. And, you know, Jessica's prioritizing a small thing when she should be focusing big. She's trying to save her sister from the influence of the Red Lanterns, but meanwhile, Simon's trying to tell us, like, hey, we need to work together to save everybody, not just one person. If you don't focus on the whole big picture, you're not going to be able to save anyone. We can save your sister by saving everybody. Yeah, it's just, it's like they're learning, but they still got a lot to learn about working together as a unit. They have no choice. They share a lantern. Hal put his foot down and he's making them work together. And this can go somewhere really, really well. And I'm digging this. It's good to see a Green Lantern book. You know, don't get me wrong, Hal Jordan is still my favorite Lantern. But it's good to see a Green Lantern title that doesn't focus on him, and instead we focus on other Lanterns, and this is being done very well for the most part so far. Good stuff. It gets a 3.5. Alright, Justice League Rebirth. Even though it's written by Hitch, this still feels like Jeff Johns' Treehouse of Heroes, but not in a bad way. In here we're actually seeing the Justice League actually trying to work together as heroes rather than gods that orbit the Earth in a fucking satellite. We're seeing the Justice League trying their best to work together, and at first they're doing it without a Superman, because remember, the new 5/2 Superman is gone, and Lois is actually talking to Clark saying, hey, you need to step in, they need a Superman. I mean, you know, it's not propaganda, folks. I mean, think about it. You really can't have a main Justice League roster without a Superman. You know, it's like having the Andy Griffith Show without Andy fucking Griffith. You know, it's like having this. It's like watching The Simpsons without Bart in it. Yeah, it's like every team, every unit, every faction, they need that one particular figure that is synonymous with that title. It's like, are you going to have D-Generation X without Triple H or Shawn Michaels? Are you going to have... It's like, can you really have a Justice League without a power player like Superman? And that message is hammered in very well in here. I mean, yes, you can have... Well, of course you can have a Justice League team without a Superman. But there comes a time where you do need a power player. And that's what they're trying to get across in here. This was good. This was good. I don't understand why the old school Superman looks exactly like the new 52 Superman. Because in this, he has his own identity. He has his own unique look. Why does he look like the new 52 Superman? I don't know. But this was still good nonetheless. I give it a 3.5. Superman number 2. We're ending this review with this. Tomasi and Gleason still doing a great job in here. This is basically the continuation of Superman teaching his son how to be a proper hero. It's not about just the flashy costumes and the superpowers and the big fights and everything. Being a hero means you have to know when you're doing the right thing, and you have to make tough decisions in order to do said right thing. Yeah, it's superhero 101 class. But who better to teach you than your old man? And, you know, he's teaching Jonathan how to properly use his X-ray vision. Meanwhile, John comes clean about what happened to the cat in the last issue. You know, and, you know, Clark is telling him it's, you know, it takes a very big person to admit they made a mistake. You know, it's just really fun stuff. I'm really digging this. I really like it. But then, that last page, oh my fucking God, really? Really? You're, oh, of all the things, you're bringing, wow. Okay, DC, you got me there. You really got me. I didn't expect you to bring this motherfucker in. Oh my God. You, ooh. Oh wow. I don't know what to say. That last page just fucking tripped me up. I should have seen that coming. I really should have. Oh no. Do yourselves a favor. Pick this stuff up. Now's the time to jump on the Superman bandwagon. I did. You can do it too. This was good. Gets a 4. Lots of good books this week. I didn't have anything in particular to do a big holy shit rant, angry rant or anything like that. Lots of good stuff this week. And you saw right there, it was really tough for me to determine a true pick of the week, but I think I might give it to either Spidey or Superman. One of those two books I could consider a pick of the week for this particular week in comics. But there's my review, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, what did you think about these books? What did you think? Did you agree, disagree, whatever? You know, I'd like to see some feedback. Subscribe while you're at it. Don't forget Blugoblin X, where my next planned project for Blugoblin X is to review the first couple of episodes of What Culture Pro Wrestling, as well as some more NXT stuff. And I got some other things I want to do for that channel as well. Don't forget Arkham Asylum Studios. We got some more stuff we want to do for that channel. Don't forget my shout outs in the description below. Look for me here on YouTube or on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Tumblr. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hail Hydra. See y'all later.